Hey class, this is Dr. Jimmy Red again. I have my coffee, I have my Van Gogh behind me, and a nature scene, a few things that I love. I wanted to talk with y'all a little bit today about the differences between plot summary and literary analysis. So in this course, we're focusing on what's called literary analysis, which means that we want to interpret the text of literature, and we need to make arguments in relation to how that work of literature can be interpreted. So in a lot of discussion posts and things such as that, you might notice I respond saying avoid mere plot summary, focus instead on literary analysis. So how can you move from mere plot summary to literary analysis? First off, make sure that you understand your audience, to whom you're writing as you're writing these posts. Your audience is me and your other classmates. We all have read the story. So there's no need to do a mere retelling of the details of the story, which is plot summary. Plot summary is when you just retell the events of the story. You might summarize it to a degree, but you put it in your own words. And so we have read the story. We don't need to know that. It proves that you read the story, which is good, but it's not the purpose of the assignment. Instead, what you want to do is to do what's called literary analysis. That's where you make arguments about the interpretation of the work of literature. And then you prove, once you make that argument or that claim, then you prove that claim about the interpretation with what I call textual evidence. And that's summaries and paraphrases and quotations from the text itself. The text being the work of fiction or drama or poetry, whatever you have. Okay, and so in order to do that, one thing I've been teaching are thematic statements. That's where you make arguments about the meaning that the work of literature is expressing, which is good. You need those in your introduction, but that's not the only place for those types of analytical statements. They need to be throughout your essay. And the most typical locations for those are in your topic sentences and concluding sentences of paragraphs. But before we get there, first off, let me give you an example of mere plot summary versus literary analysis. So here we have, if you will, a paragraph that is mere plot summary. It summarizes the events that happened in George Eliot's Silas Marner. Okay? Clearly the student has read this chapter here, but all the post is doing is it's telling me what happened in that chapter. Okay? If you read it there, you'll see. It says, Chapter 1 tells of how Silas Marner came to Ravelot. His arrival was preceded by an unfortunate event involving his best friend. And then it restates the events that happened. Now, in order to fix this, the easiest way is to develop a topic sentence which tells your reader right off the bat the point that you're trying to argue about interpretation within this work of literature. So I developed a topic sentence here, and my handwriting's not very good, but we'll work with it. Right here, what it says is, Marner's development as a character illustrates that betrayal can serve as a reason for individuals to isolate themselves from society, and this can be manifested in ways such as losing faith in God and other people. Okay, so that statement right there is an argument about the interpretation of the work in relation to the work's significance to the larger human condition. Okay, you could, if you put that topic sentence at the top of this paragraph as it's written, the paragraph still wouldn't be doing an analysis throughout the whole thing, but it would at least have a point that it's trying to prove. And you could keep a lot of the details in here as long as you're explaining and relating back to how they're proving that claim that you made in the topic sentence up here. Now, the document I have online, which is called How to Write a Literary Analysis in the Essay section of the course, that's an excellent document to read. It will teach you how to write the essay from start to finish. It's written toward a different assignment than the ones that we have. Like, you'll notice things like 575, 750 word essays and things such as that. Ours is going to be longer than that. But I think as a general document, it can help you in a lot of ways if you follow a lot of the strategies in there and add to it the thematic statements that we're talking about specifically in this course. In particular, I want to focus on the page in that document, page 3. Again, the document is How to Write a Literary Analysis. Here is page 3. On page 3, it tells you how to write the body paragraphs, and that's what we're focused on specifically within this little mini lecture right here. And it shows you how to write a topic sentence. In this case here, this topic sentence is making a claim about John Updike's A and P, and it's making a claim about how the setting functions within that particular story to make meaning. So it starts out with a topic sentence. Topic sentences are super important in literary analysis essays, and it's really important to front load the point that you're trying to make right here so the reader knows what point you're trying to argue with this textual evidence down here. And that's why you don't want to, some people make the mistake, which is usually a mistake, of putting the textual claim at the end of the paragraph. And then your reader has to backtrack to see what point you were trying to make all along. But you should include concluding sentences as well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Within the rest of the body paragraph, that's where you include the textual evidence, and that's, again, that's quotations, paraphrases, and summaries from the work of fiction, drama, or poetry that are being used to prove this point, okay? Keep that all in mind. You're always trying to prove a point. And notice that it says explanations as well. So you need to explain, do analysis within the body paragraph to explain how those are making meaning within the work of literature. And on page 5 of that document, How to Write a Literary Analysis, it also has this discussion of summary and paraphrase and quotation and how you can use it within your body paragraphs, as well as how to punctuate and things such as that, which are important. There's punctuation for direct quotations and how to use what are called lead-in phrases. Quotation shouldn't just be dropped into the text without you telling your reader beforehand, you know, orienting us to that quotation. And then after it, explaining why it's significant. A quote does not explain itself, which is why usually most paragraphs do not end with quotes. They end with explanation of the quotes, and even better than that is to draw conclusions based on what's been talked about throughout the paragraph. So you can think about a body paragraph. Think about a body paragraph as a miniature essay. The topic sentence is the introduction with a claim. The body paragraph is where you illustrate that claim. And then the concluding sentence is where you branch out and draw those conclusions and show how they're significant to other points of discussion that you're going to begin talking about later. I have an example, a student model essay online as well. Here it is right here. This one compares and contrasts the yellow wallpaper and the story of an hour. So in my introduction to literature classes, my online ones, the exam essay asks you to do a comparison contrast, and also as we move forward toward the major essay, you're going to be asked to do a comparison contrast as well. So that's one reason why I chose this particular essay. Another reason is because I think it's a really good model for what we're doing in the course. For a lot of reasons, but today I'm just going to focus again on how she structures her paragraph right here. She uses an effective topic sentence right here, so I'll let you look at it. Again, this is online. It's a student model essay is what it's called. And I'll read you the topic sentence. It says, let me hold it here while I read it to you. Since the nature of captivity can be explained by one definition instead of many, as in the case of freedom, it appears that humans are better at identifying what is holding them back than they are at explaining what would truly liberate them. Okay, so there's the topic sentence right there. So that's a thematic claim right there about the meaning that's being expressed within the work. In the next sentence, and this is really important because I'm not only teaching thematic statements, but the next step is you need to tell your reader how you plan to prove that thematic statement in relation to the text in particular. And I'm teaching you in the Introduction to Literature to focus on how literary elements such as characterization, point of view, style, things such as that, how they are contributing to the meaning of a work of literature, okay? So that's what this author does right here. In the next sentence, she tells us the method of analysis. And the method of analysis is character development right here. So it says, each protagonist struggles when attempting to grasp her individual concept of freedom. That's the thematic topic. But she knows from the beginning what is holding her captive. And then in the rest of that paragraph, the author uses that textual evidence, uses quotations, paraphrases, summaries, all of that. Skipping all of that, we get down to the concluding sentence. So again, the concluding sentence of a paragraph is going to not just restate what was said at the beginning, but ideally it will draw some conclusions based on the evidence that was presented within this paragraph and bridge the gap to the next point of discussion. And it's also going to be more general. Okay, the paragraph starts general, moves specific, specific textual evidence, and then goes out to the general again, just like an ideal essay does as well. Okay, now let's look at this final concluding sentence. I'll hold it up here to you. For the two women, captivity appears to come from the people one would expect to be the main characters, to see no other alternative than to break away physically and mentally. Okay, so draw some conclusions there. Alright, so thanks so much for listening today, y'all. I'm going to get back to drinking my coffee and enjoying nature and grading some essays. Joy! I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.